Dear students, today we are going to start class 9 History, Chapter 2 Socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution, Part 3. Students, in this part we will cover Introduction, the Russian Revolution, Socialism in Russia, Formation of Socialist Democratic Party, Mensheviks and Bolsheviks, Achievements of Socialist and Democratic Party, other groups, Bolshevik Party and Lenin. The Russian Revolution. Students, before starting this, let us recall what we discussed in previous part so that it will be easy for you to understand the further contents. Students, in the previous part we discussed that during 19th century there was the time of social change. The changes we have seen in the European countries. In France, we have seen the French Revolution, where people they had done the revolution and they changed the form of government from autocratic to democratic. They got their rights, and as in France the revolution had taken place, other European countries got inspired and they started revolution in their own countries. Students, during that time, we have seen the arrival of a new idea that was socialism. Students, once again, we will recall what was socialism. Socialism was an idea in that the socialists were against private property and felt it to be the root cause of all social ills. They felt that though property produced employment, it gave personal gains to property owners, not to the one who contributed to make the property productive. Socialists wanted that landowners should pay the attention to collective interest rather than their own personal interest. Students, these kind of ideas emerged in Europe, but socialism we have seen it was taken in a different ways by different people. Because of that, different categories of the people we have seen. Some were liberals, some were radicals and conservatives. They wanted to bring the socialism but in their own ways. Radicals were having different ideas, liberals were having different ideas. Socialism was all they wanted to bring the socialism, but conservatives they were also having different ideas regarding socialism. Their ways were different from each other, but their target was to bring the changes, but in different ways. After that, we have seen the Industrial Revolution that had taken place firstly in England and later on it spread in Europe. We have seen industrialization made two categories in the society, that is working class and industrialist. Those were capitalists. Here we have seen these two classes emerged. Along with that, we have seen the problems of the industrial workers. They faced many problems regarding employment, more working hours, less wages, housing problems, sanitation problems. These problems we have seen because of the industrial revolution. Who was getting profit? Who gained because of industrial revolution? Those were industrialists. They were taking more share of profit with them and they were giving very less to workers. Because of that, workers they had to face many problems in that period. Then after we have seen the arrival of socialism in Europe. In that we have seen the contribution of Karl Marx, who supported the idea of socialism. He wanted a society where all will get equality, workers will get their rights. He wanted a communist society. He wanted that the resources should be distributed equally, profit will be shared equally, cooperative societies should be there. In this way, cooperatives we wanted. The idea of communist society we got here. So in this way we have seen that the socialism arrived. Now, causes of the Russian Revolution. Students, when we studied the French Revolution, then we have seen some reasons behind the French Revolution. In that, we have seen some causes were political causes, some causes were social causes, some were economic causes, and some immediate causes were there. Intellectual causes were also there. Students, same here, behind the Russian Revolution, some political causes, social causes, economic causes, and immediate causes are there. Now let us see. Some causes are written here. In that, autocratic rule of czars. The main causes of Russian Revolution, in that we will see autocratic rule of czars. Students, the crisis of Tsarism played a vital role in the outbreak of the revolution. This is the political cause behind the Russian Revolution. Conditions of peasants, status of industries, conditions of workers in the industries, formation of socialist parties, Bloody Sunday, which took place in 1905, effects of the World War I. So students, some causes are written here. We can take these causes as long-term causes and short-term causes. Students, political causes, social causes, economic causes, these causes can be taken as long-term causes. Bloody Sunday, effects of the World War, these can be considered as immediate or short-term causes. In this part, we will discuss over the long-term causes of the Russian Revolution. Now, first of all, we will discuss about the political causes of the Russian Revolution, as autocratic rule of czars was one of the big reason behind the Russian Revolution. So we can say the crisis of Tsarism played a vital role in the outbreak of the revolution. The Tsars in Russia ruled in a highly autocratic manner. They believed in the divine theory of kingship and were not prepared to put a check on their unlimited powers and privileges. Governance was not only despotic but also inefficient and weak. Inefficient and corrupt officials were all in all during the autocratic and despotic regime of the Tsars. Students, the common masses or the representatives had no participation in the administration of the country. Tsar Nicholas II, who was the king of Russia, during whose regime the Bolshevik Revolution broke out, was an inefficient and short-sighted person. He was a ruthless ruler having no concern with administration or the welfare of his subjects. He was dominated by his German wife, Tsarina Alexandra. She was under great influence by a hypocritical and corrupt Saint Rasputin, the holy devil. The Tsar took certain decisions under the influence of his queen and Rasputin, as a result of which opposition against him started gathering momentum among the masses. So students, here we have seen the political reason behind the Russian Revolution. Now society of the country was also responsible, the social structure was also responsible for the Russian Revolution. So let us see the social causes. In that we will talk about the condition of peasants, status of industries. In that we will discuss about the condition of workers. In the social structure, we can see peasants were there, workers were there, they were the parts of the society. So condition of peasants, first of all we will discuss. The European countries had undergone important social changes during the 19th century, but the base of Russian society was still feudalistic. The society was divided into two classes, the privileged and non-privileged. The privileged class comprised the prosperous and influential people who held almost all the important offices and state, and most of the land was also under their control. They enjoyed special privileges and rights and lived in a world of luxury. Now, students, the non privileged class consisted of farmers and workers who formed about 90% who formed about 90% of the Russian population. Around 85% of the population earned their living from agriculture. It is worth mentioning that the proportion of Russian population engaged in agriculture was higher than in most European countries. For example, it was 40% in France and 50% in Germany. Russia was a major exporter of grain. So students, here mostly people were engaged in agricultural activities. Neither the farmer nor the workers had any meaningful place in the society. In fact, the workers were divided social groups. Some of them had strong links with their original villages, whereas some others had settled in cities permanently. So students, here it is the condition of farmers and peasants we have seen here. Now, status of industries we will discuss here. Before that, we'll see the middle class which emerged with the rapid industrialization and which mainly comprised of small industrialists, merchants, and intellectuals too, was disenchanted with autocratic czardom. With the expansion of education, the ideology middle class people underwent rapid changes and the intellectuals started protesting against the czarist regime. Students, now we discuss about the status of industries and condition of workers in the industries. Students, these causes are related to the economy, or we can say these causes are related to the economic condition. Till the end of 18th century, Russia was industrially a backward country. Industrialization started in the later half of the 19th century and brought with its miseries for newly emerged class of industrial workers. Students, in Russia, the industry was found in pockets. St. Petersburg and Moscow were prominent industrial areas. With the expansion of railway network and increase in foreign investment in industry, a number of factories were set up in the 1890s. Consequently, there was a sharp increase in the production of coal, iron, and steel. But as there was no ample capital in the country, more than half of the capital investment was made by foreign investors. The foreign investors were interested only in making huge and quick profits without having any concern for the miserable conditions of the workers. Only they wanted to make the profit by using the resources and workers. The Russian capital too proved to be a source of exploitation of the workers, as they had to compete with the foreign investors with their insufficient capital. They reduced the wages of the workers, whether factories were owned by foreigners or Russians. The conditions of workers were not satisfactory. The workers had to work 12 to 15 hours a day, but the wages they received for putting in such untrained labor were much less. They were deprived of political rights and had no means of getting even minor reforms. As a consequence, they were compelled to lead a miserable and wretched life. The economic condition was so deplorable that they, as Marx has rightly remarked, had nothing to lose but their chains. They were not having anything to lose, only that is the foundations they were having, they can lose. the masses started getting awakened under the influence of Marxist ideology. They started forming their organizations, and in order to get their demands fulfilled. Now, students, because of these problems, people they wanted to make their associations, that is to fight for their rights. Students, because of that, the formation of socialist parties started. All political parties were illegal in Russia before 1914. The Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party was founded in 1898 by socialists who respected organization. It set up a newspaper, mobilized workers, and organized strikes. So, here we have seen the long term causes of the French Revolution. Now, Bloody Sunday and effects of First World War we will discuss in the next part of this chapter. Socialism in Russia. Students, the autocratic rule of czars had disappointed and disillusioned the Russian people. The half-hearted measures of reform by czars and the inefficiency in the administration led the younger generation of the working men of the 1860s to start revolutionary movements. All political parties were illegal in Russia before 1914. The Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party was founded by socialists in 1898 who respected Marx's ideas. However, because of government policy, it had to operate as an illegal organization. It set up newspaper, mobilized workers, and organized strikes. So in this way, students, people they wanted to get their rights. For that, they started making associations. They started doing strikes in the industries. That is to show their anger and to protest against whatever the wrong was going with them. So they started showing their agitation and they wanted to get their rights. Formation of Socialist Democratic Party. Now, students, people they started making their associations. As has been stated earlier, there was a deep-rooted resentment against the Tsarist rule among the masses since long. The widespread resentment among the peasants gave birth to many peasants' rebellion in the 19th century, which were suppressed with an iron hand. However, the liberal and radical ideas began to spread among the masses, which ultimately took the shape of a movement against the existing system. With the advent of industrial revolution, there came to the front the merchants, factory owners and bankers who resolved to put a check on the unlimited and arbitrary powers of the Tsar. The liberals and educated sections of the people started demanding political reforms on Western pattern, and thus the intelligentsia proved to be torchbearers of the revolution. They demanded the freedom of conscience, speech, publication, public meetings and associations, as all these things were illegal in Russia. In the last quarter of the 19th century, the intellectuals started preaching their ideas to the peasants through a movement known as going to the people. Now, students, there was emergence of socialist movement in Russia. In 1898, the Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party was formed on the lines of Karl Marx. Some socialists formed the Socialist Revolutionary Party in 1900 to struggle for peasants' rights and demanded that land belonging to nobles be transferred to peasants. Lenin felt that these were peasants who were poor as well as rich, so they could not all be a part of the socialist movement. Lenin, who formed the Bolshevik group, felt that in a society like Tsarist Russia, party should be disciplined and should control its members' number and quality. Whereas Mensheviks thought that the party should be open to all, the party was divided over the strategy of organization, Bolsheviks and Mensheviks. Bolsheviks were led by Lenin and Mensheviks by Kerensky. So students, here we have seen the formation of Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party, but later the ideology was different. Because of that, it split into two parts, that is Bolsheviks and Mensheviks. The leaders were also different, that is Menshevik party, the leader was Kerensky, Alexander Kerensky, and Bolshevik party leader was Lenin. So here we have seen that the formation of Socialist Democratic Party. Now differences in the ideology of Bolsheviks and Mensheviks. Students, as we have seen, during the last decade of 19th century, there was a rapid spread of socialist ideology in Russia and many socialist organizations started coming into existence. George Plekhanov, a follower of Marx, formed Russian Socialist Democratic Party in 1883. In 1898, different socialist groups got together to form Socialist Democratic Labour Party. Due to some differences in opinion on issues of party discipline and tactics, the party got split in Mensheviks, the minority, and Bolsheviks, majority. Alexander Kerensky was leader of Mensheviks or minority men, and Vladimir Lenin was the leader of the Bolshevik or majority men. Now let us see what was the main difference in the ideology of these two parties, that is Bolshevik party and Menshevik party. First of all, we'll discuss about the ideology of Mensheviks. Mensheviks had full faith in the socialist ideas of Marx, but they did not consider it necessary to use revolutionary methods for the implementation of these principles. They believed in the establishment of socialism through the spread of education and reforms among the workers. They wanted that if the workers they will be educated, definitely they will fight for their rights. They were not in the favor of revolution. They thought that the party, as in Germany, should be open for all. The Mensheviks were in favor of political system that existed in countries like France and Germany and participated in elections to the parliaments of their countries. So students, the Mensheviks represented a minority group under the leadership of Alexander Kerensky. They believed in gradual change and establishment of parliamentary form of government like that of France and Germany. The party which was they favor the party, sorry mistake is here in the spelling, they favor the party which was open to all and to work within the system. Students, it is favor, just correct, that is favor. The Bolsheviks. Now let us discuss the ideas of Bolsheviks. Bolsheviks were in majority. Most of the Russian backed Bolshevik party. The ultimate objective of the Bolsheviks was the establishment of socialism in the country, uprooting the autocratic tsardom. They regarded the party organized on parliamentary lines good for nothing. They believed that under the present circumstances, their aim could be achieved only with the help of revolutionary methods. They were in the favor of revolution. They were radicals. They wanted the changes with the help of revolution. Bolshevik led by Lenin wished for closely disciplined party comprising active workers in the movement, they planned to establish the dictatorship of the proletariat, that is working class, by a sudden and violent change. The Bolsheviks captured power in Russia by the October Revolution of 1917. Achievements of Socialist Democratic Party. Socialist Democratic Party made a significant contribution in awakening and uniting the working classes. It organized many effective strikes with the purpose of improving the conditions of the workers and took active part in the revolutionary movement of 1905. At last, Socialist Revolution of October 1917 came about under the leadership of Bolshevik men of this party. So students, here the contribution of Socialist Democratic Party was very much important in the Russian Revolution, as they encouraged the people for the revolution. They organized effective strikes with the purpose of improving the condition of workers and took active part in the revolutionary movement of 1905. Now other groups. The Menshevik and Bolshevik parties were the political parties of industrial workers. There was also a party of the peasants known as Socialist Revolutionary Party. It was formed in 1900. The party struggled for peasants' rights earnestly. Its major demand was that land belonging to nobles be transferred to peasants. The non-Russian nationalities of Russian Empire had their own parties. Students, non-Russian people, they had different languages, cultures and traditions, but Tsarist government, who wanted to forcibly Russianize them, adopted the policy of imposing the Slav Russian language, culture and institutions on them. So student, this was the condition of non-Russian people. The knowledge of Russian language was made compulsory for government jobs, and political rights of the non-Russian were highly curtailed. Many restrictions were imposed on non-Russians in the field of religions as well. Bolshevik Party and Lenin. Students, the most important leader of the Bolsheviks was Lenin. He organized the Bolshevik Party and made it an important instrument for bringing about the revolution. Lenin believed in extreme socialism. He was convinced that in a country like Russia, where no democratic institutions or rights existed, a party organized purely on parliamentary lines would be of no use. He did not reorganize any class but the workers. He wanted that members should strive for the resolution and abide by the discipline of the party. He didn't want to open the party for all. He wanted to fight for the people, those they really faced the problem in Russian territory or in Russian Empire. So he wanted to fight for the people, those they were in the need, because he wanted that there was no use of revolution for the people, those already they are getting all the facilities, those were rich people. The main aim of the Bolsheviks were uprooting the autocratic and corrupt Tsarist rule, ending the repression of non-Russian nationalities and granting them the rights of self-determination. As they were not getting rights, many restrictions were imposed on them by the Russian government. Introduction of 8-hour working day in the factories, abolition of feudal oppression of the peasants, following the principle of equality and in land distribution. So all these were the aims of Bolshevik party. They wanted to fulfill these ideas. They wanted to bring these kind of rights in Russia. Now test your progress. Now after explanation, let us see some questions here. In what ways was the working population in Russia different from other countries in Europe before 1917? What was the difference between Bolsheviks and Mensheviks? What were the main causes of the Russian Revolution? Describe the history of the socialist movement in Russia. So students, this is today's part of the Russian Revolution. Thank you.